Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 plus fitness journey. What I hope to do here is give you a little insight into what I do on a daily basis to stay fit. I'm not totally focused on building muscle. I'm not totally focused on running, for example. I want to keep a total balanced package of fitness. So I want to show you my most recent 4-day cycle that I just completed. This is actually what I did for 4 days. I have a 4-day cycle that I loop through, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But I want to emphasize this is what I do, and it's specifically for a total package of fitness. I'm not necessarily trying to become a bodybuilder, not at all. I'm not necessarily trying to become a competitive runner, not at all. I just want to be completely well-rounded fitness-wise so that I can remain agile, nimble, athletic as I get older. This is my attempt at this. Right or wrong, this is what I do, and I just want to show you what I do. So, let's get to it. Now what I've done is documented these workouts directly out of my notebook that I keep on a daily basis. It's just basically day by day and my morning and AM routine, morning and PM routine. It's not terribly detailed, but it does give me an idea where I was and how I was feeling. So let's start with my Monday, first day of this 4-day cycle. Morning, 5 a.m. I'm a morning gym person generally. On this day, it was a 5 a.m. back day. And on this day, I started off with pull-ups. So this back day was going to be pull-up intensive. This 20-70 represents my first set to failure was 20 reps, and I did a total of 70 for that pull-up session. Once that 70 was done, I went over and started doing some barbell rows, which I've just started implementing, and I'm not very good at those right now. I'm trying to get a little bit better. I like those because they're heavier, a little bit more of a back compound movement, if you will. And on those, I generally do 3 sets of 12. And after the barbell rows, I went over and did the seated lat pulls. And here again, I did 3 sets of 12. And on this particular day, I used that V-bar so my hands were close together. And then I followed that up with some dumbbell rows. I love these dumbbell rows. These are my new favorite back exercise. I like to do these a little heavier, and I did these for 3 sets of 12 as well. So that was my morning AM routine. That took me about 40 to 45 minutes. Went about my day, and then in the afternoon, at 4 o'clock, I went and did a 4.5 mile run at an 8:25 pace, which is a little faster than normal for me. This was a progressive run, meaning that I started out a little slower, so like a 9:30 pace for the first mile, and then progressively ran faster with negative splits. I should have converted this to kilometers, but maybe next time I will. Then on Tuesday, the next day, the second day of my 4-day cycle, again I did a 5 a.m. workout, and this day was shoulders and chest. I do shoulders first before chest because I lag a little bit in shoulders, and my chest, if I'm not careful, gets all out of proportion. So I do my shoulders first. And on this day, I did dumbbell overhead presses, 3 sets of 7, because I like to do those heavy. I want to make those as heavy as I can to get a little bit stronger in that movement. I followed that up directly with rear delts with the dumbbells. And here I like to go with a lighter weight and a 3x15, 3 sets of 15 there. And I followed that up directly with dumbbell lateral raises. Again, that was 3x15 as well, and it's again a lighter weight to get that 3x15 in. Now by this time, my shoulders are pretty burnt, but we're going to carry on. And because my shoulders are pretty fatigued, I went straight into push-ups. And what I did here was 3 sets of push-ups to failure. So you say if I did the first set at 50 to failure, that's all I did. Rested for a minute or two and did 2 more sets to failure. And that was with a wide stance with my hands to make sure I was hitting my chest. Then I went over to the pec deck. That's that machine that isolates the pecs. I've started doing this again recently just to hit my chest exclusively without getting a whole lot of other muscles involved. And so that was the totality of my chest workout for today. Then I followed that up directly with some cable shoulder movements. And in this case, what I did was some rear delt movements with the cables, like so. And then I did 2 sets of 10 of those. And then I did 2 sets of 10 of cable lateral raises. And that was the totality of my shoulder chest day. Then at 5 o'clock on this day, I went out and did an easy 4-miler at a 10-minute pace. Again, I should convert this to kilometers as well, just so those of you that don't use miles can relate. Okay, next we're going to go to day 3. Okay, so let's move on to day 3. On day 3, AM workout again, 5 a.m. This was an arm day. Pretty easy day. Kind of look forward to arm day. And on this particular day, my last arm day, this is what I did. I did 8 sets of dumbbell supersets, meaning I did 1 by 8 of curls and 1 by 8 of tricep extensions. And those 2 sets I did 4 times. Now the curls in this case were just like this way, and the tricep extensions was a dumbbell, and I did them overhead like this. You can also do this with an easy curl bar. And so I did a total of 8 sets of that, and then once that's done, I jumped right onto some cable work, and here I did 4 sets. Again, I did tricep extensions using a rope, trying to get a full extension on the triceps, and curls, again using the cable machine. These were a closer grip. On the cables, I like to keep my elbows on my abdomen and bring it in like this. So I did a total of 4 sets here, and after I was done with that workout, I jumped over to, on this day I like to do this, I do some intervals, some high intensity, some HIIT training, high intensity interval training on a dyno bike. Now that's the bike where you pedal, it's got a big fan and you use your arms, except in this case, I don't use the pedals, I just use my arms. And I find on this particular arm day, not only is this a HIIT session, it also is an excellent way to finish up the arm day, because when you're done, your biceps and triceps are going to be hurting. So I do that. I do 10 by 30-second sessions with 30 seconds of rest. So that's a nice way to finish out the arm day. And then in the afternoon at 4 o'clock or so, it's another interval day. So I did a 1 mile run warm up, and then I did a 10 by 1/10 of a mile sprint. It wasn't necessarily a sprint, but I ran these as fast as I could. And then I would rest long enough to get my heart rate back down to almost normal before, in between these sprints. So it's an all out, a complete rest, an all out 10 times. And then once that's done, I did a 1 mile cool down on the way back home. So that's day 3, arms. Now let's move on to day 4. Day 4 is the last workout of this 4-cycle session. Now on this particular day, on this Thursday, again I was at the gym at 5 a.m. and it was leg day. Now this is a little bit different than what I normally do, but my last squat leg day was kind of squat heavy. I started squats first, just regular back squats, and I did this in a progressive fashion. I started out with 135 and did 10 as a nice little warm-up. Actually did a little bit more of a warm-up before that, but this is actually the beginning of the workout. 135 by 10, then I went to 185 by 6, and then moved up to 225 by 4, 265 by 2, 285 by 1, and then I did a 305 by 1. What I wanted to do was get some heavy singles at the end just to see where I was. And after this, that's a lot more work than it looks like. I was pretty spent, but I still went over to the reverse V squat, or it's a hack squat machine. I have a video, a couple of videos with this in it. I'll link that on the top corner up here. These reverse hack squats, I love these things. I did 3 sets there of 6 to 8 reps. I wanted these heavy enough so I could only get 6 to 8 reps on these. I followed this up with 3 sets of leg extensions just to kind of get a fine-tuned final quadricep work. So I did 3 sets of 12 of those. And then what I don't normally do on my leg day, which is weird, is I don't do hamstrings. I usually do this on my back day. But as I remember it, I remember forgetting to do it on back day, so I incorporated it on my leg day today just to get it in. So I finished up with 4 sets of 12 reps. And again, that was a nice little finish up there. So that was an excellent leg day. It really was. So that is the complete 4-day cycle for me. Again, this is what I do. I'm just offering this up as an idea. This is what I do. I think it works pretty well for me. I think the key here is, though, be adaptable. Once you start working out and you start getting some momentum, you start to learn your body, you start to understand what works and what doesn't. You can morph your workouts to fit your schedule, to fit your fatigue level. But importantly, document it. I can't overemphasize keeping a documentation of what you're doing and how you're progressing. I mean, document it down to the point of how you feel on a given day, maybe even what you had to eat the day before or 2 days before, or how you slept. Documenting that stuff is really good to give you an initial feel of where you're going. So that's a really quick synopsis of my 4-day cycle, and I hope it was useful. And if you have any ideas or tips that you'd like to suggest, I'm open to any of that stuff. I've gotten a few tips already from people, which are much appreciated. So if any of this was helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends, and keep coming back. Let's keep this group and this channel growing. I love having you here. Until next time, go get 'em. Mark out.